Yo, yo. Amy in the house. Amy's at work. We'll be joining at some point. Raymond Matthew in the house. Matthew in the house. John in the house, and a few others lingering. Guys, we're going to let some people sign in here before we get into it. Yeah. What up? John says the babies can wait. That's wild, dude. That is crazy. Number 74 in the house. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning. Yeah. Big topic today. We'll dive into that once we get some more people signing in. Mark Warren in the house. I did get some questions in my email, so we'll go over those as well. Some of them are about our topic, some of them are not. All good stuff, though. Man, I've been sick the last 3 days or so, so I'm just now recovering. So that was fun. Lee in the house. What up, Lee? Yeah, like I said, we'll give it a few minutes before we dive into everything. I know it's still early, and the email just went out too, so. Raymond says, I'm healthy, did not get your plague. Yeah, I think they say after 72 hours, like you're good, like 100% for sure good. So yeah, just keep you'll know if you have it. It's not gonna be like, am I sick? No, you're gonna know if you get that. I promise. But yeah, I think if you go I think if like 3 days pass or something, we were together Friday? Today is were we together Friday? No, Thursday. So Friday, Saturday. Yeah, if you're good by tomorrow, I don't think you're gonna get it. I don't think you're gonna get it if you're good by tomorrow. Even Monday, if you're good by Monday, you're for sure good, I would say. Yeah, you don't want that. I lost like 8 pounds. Oh well. Oh wells. DLC in the house. What up? I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, dude, I'm feeling better. I'm just like kind of fatigued now. I'm just now starting to eat. Like midday yesterday, I started eating like food, normal food. Not even like my bodybuilder foods, just like shit that I can eat. Like just like sourdough toast and whatever the fuck else. Like, I guess just eating like a normal person. And that's what I plan on doing today too. Just to try to recover a bit. I am going to attempt this energy drink here in a minute. So we'll see how that goes. J Money in the house. Good morning. All right, guys, we're going to start diving in. I'm going to start with my questions that I got in the email. We'll start with Joey's first because Dylan in the house. What up, dude? We're going to start with Joey's questions first because they don't pertain to the topic, which is good because that topic today is going to be basically what this whole live stream is about. So Joey's not in the house yet, I don't think, but that's okay. He always catches my replays. His first question, he wants to know when, and guys, Joey sent these. If you guys aren't signed up for the email list, do that. TommyJohnCoaching.com. You'll be prompted with a pop up. You just put in your name and email address, and I'm not going to send you junk. It's just going to be letting you know when I'm going live. And then that's where you can ask your questions for the live as well as on Instagram. But um, when transitioning from a cruise to a blast, he's talking about gear, obviously, or super supplements. When transitioning from a cruise to a blast, do you proactively add volume slash intensity to training, or do you wait for your clients to say they're feeling more recovered? This is a really good question. I think people would actually assume that because you're transitioning into a blast phase or a higher dose of whatever you're running, that you should also increase the volume and intensity of training. And I don't do it proactively at all. Um, I just train how I was training, and I let the gear do what it does. I don't. Man, I mean, there's only so many things that I do treat proactively. Um, but a lot of the times, like, I don't mind being reactive in this decision making process, because what's the worst that can happen, right? Let's say, oh no, I'm recovering way too good. Like, oh darn, fuck. You know, I guess we just increase volume and intensity a little bit. Oh shoot, right? Darn it. You see what I mean? So the alternative would be we proactively increase volume intensity and you get an injury. And now what? So that's where, there's certain scenarios where being reactive is actually probably the better choice. Because sometimes proactive, you'll either overshoot it or you'll just make a wrong call, and then it's more of a pain to unfuck that, as opposed to when you're being reactive, you're already fixing something that didn't go the way you wanted it to. Proactive, I understand the terminology of what proactive would be, but with a decision like this, it just doesn't always pay off, and there's more risk involved. So to answer Joey's question, when transitioning from a cruise to a blast, do you proactively add volume slash intensity to training? No, I don't. Um, I make that transition with the gear, get into those blasting ranges, and I keep training where it is. And then, like I said, the worst thing that happens is, man, my workouts are way too easy. Okay, cool. Now we can add volume and intensity, but not something I would do proactively. Um, like I said, just in case, one of the negative alternatives come up, that's a lot harder to reverse than if you just waited to see what the gear is doing to begin with. Joey's second question: at what point in a client's diet do you start tracking electrolytes? I like to get everyone on right from the start, like a general outline, just so we're on the same page of what kind of um, intake they have now. So we'll try to establish a baseline where it's something like, hey, how much water are you drinking a day? They say, whatever, 1.5 gallons. Okay, cool. I write in the diet how much salt I want per meal. So let's say it's a quarter teaspoon per meal. I will write that in their diet. So that's established there. And then if I have, certain areas where I'm putting potassium and things like that, um, I'll put that in their diet as well. So really, at what point in a client's diet do you start tracking electrolytes? Really from day one. It's not so specific that, like, when you get down and dirty, like into prep ranges, um, like at 7 to 5 weeks out, I pretty much know exactly all the condiments, all the types of beverages you're using, and anything like that, that can affect, electrolyte balance, everything like that. That's all nailed down in a prep scenario. In the off season, I just kind of get a general idea of like, hey, we're having a quarter teaspoon of salt per meal. Um, I use the person might, hey, I use 2 element packets a day. Okay, cool. Um, and then as things start, if things start to come up, blood pressure issues, uh, nocturia, nighttime urination, then we can start looking at the electrolytes closer to see if there's something we can change um, to fix those things. Joey's third question: what is your favorite burger spot for a cheat meal? Um, Man, there used to be a spot in a town called Wakanda, which was local to us at one point. That they didn't last through the whole pandemic and stuff. They ended up having to shut down. That was called Bulldogs, and that was a really cool spot. Obviously, the burgers were good, but just the like little restaurant itself was cool. It was in this little downtown area, and then like the inside of the restaurant was all like 1960s, 1970s, like music posters, and like it was just super cool. There was like Bob Dylan was all over the walls and the doors, and like just it was just a really cool restaurant. And then they played good music too, obviously. Um Nowadays, like for a chain, like somewhere you can kind of get everywhere, like Culver's or Five Guys would be pretty good. Local to the Midwest, Portillo's is like a good burger spot too. Um, yeah, Raymond chimes in Portillo's. Yeah, Raymond knows. So yeah, but my number one was that place in Wakanda, which unfortunately shut down. But that place was dope. Um, let's see. I think that was all Joey's. Thank you, Joey, for all those. I know you'll catch this on the replay. You're probably training right now or something. Yeah, that was all Joey's questions. And then we got some questions from Mark, but I will save those while we dive into our big topic of the day, which is bodybuilding worth it? First, I want to see if you guys have any questions before I just start rambling off about my thoughts on this. So, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds. If you have any questions, if you have any questions about is bodybuilding worth it, drop those in the chat as well. I'm going to try to drink some of this energy drink. And if I run away, it's because I shit my pants. So. Okay. Dylan in the house. What up, Dylan? J Money said hi to you. Looks like everyone is here. 20 viewerships. Nice. DLC says no questions. I guess this morning everyone's still sleeping. Yeah, you guys are fucked. Man, I'm the one that had the fucking plague. No, some of you were sick too, based off the check-ins that I got. A lot of people were sick over the last few weeks. All my check-ins were like, yeah, I'm sick. I'm like, fuck. Me too, bro. Me too, bro. Crystal says diseased, for real diseased, like for real. All right, guys, hit the like button. I'm going to dive into the main topic of the day. Yeah, exactly, DLC. At least getting it out and sick before the Arnold. Man, if even think about it this way, if my stomach felt like it did the last fucking 2 days on a 6 I think it's about a 6-hour drive for us to the Arnold. If my stomach was fucked up like that in a car for 6 hours, dude, there's no way I would have even considered going. Like, if I would have caught this, we're leaving on Wednesday. If I would have felt this way Tuesday, fuck no, I wouldn't go. I dead ass wouldn't go. Um, yeah, my stomach was fucked, dude. And it sucks because like I just got my digestion really good. Over the since prep, like my stomach was kind of fucked up a little bit, like on and off. And I've been working on getting that resolved over the last however long it's fucking been now, since November. I've been trying to dial this stomach in, and like over the last 3 weeks, it finally was feeling good. My sleep was getting better. And then all of a sudden this happens. I'm like, motherfucker. So now I feel like I gotta start over a little bit. But I'm confident that it'll just bounce right back. And maybe it was good for me in a weird way to just take a break from everything. Like when I'm sick, I don't take any health supplements. I don't take any peptides. I know that seems like opposite, but I don't take my growth hormone. I do shoot my gear just because I don't want my testosterone levels bouncing all over the place because I don't like fucking around with my estrogen and stuff like that. Like if I skip like too many gear shots and then like they get backed up, like I don't like doing that. But yeah, as far as like health supplements, all that shit, I pull it all out. Um, I really don't take anything when I'm sick just because I want the body just to like do what it does. And I know that seems backwards. Like a lot of people start slamming vitamin D, vitamin C, glutathione, things like that. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to take any shots. I don't want it. Part of that's just like the actual like motivation to stab yourself with a fucking needle when you know you're not training anyways, and like you already feel like dog shit. So it's like part of it is me just like lying down and giving up and just like I'm just gonna ride this out. And that's what's always worked for me. I don't get sick often. So when I do, it's a nice reset for me. It's like life's natural reset where I don't think about bodybuilding. Um, I don't think about any of the peptides, any of the health supplements. I just think about relaxing and recovering and shitting my brains out, apparently. Crystal in the house. What is up, Tommy and friends? What up? What up? What up? What up? Christy4 in the house. David DLC, my manager, says hit the like button, you bastards. Okay, Jay, kick it off, bro. I can kick one off. Yeah, if you got questions, dude, rattle them off. And then we will dive into that topic. And Raymond's going to give his opinion on the topic. And the topic of the day is bodybuilding worth it? And this just so I'm clear, this is not going to be about me explaining why it is or isn't worth it. It's going to be me explaining how people make that decision for themselves, how you guys can make that decision for yourself, um, and just go from there. Um, so it's not going to be me giving absolute opinions on whether it is or isn't worth it. It's going to be um, me just explaining how how people come to that conclusion. What type of basically it's going to be me first just teaching you guys how people make decisions in general. And I think that's going to be very helpful for some of you to hear. Um, any of you that have dealt with, drug addiction or addiction to anything or things like that, it's going to be helpful to hear why we make decisions that we do. And guys, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist. This is just things I've learned over time through working through my own things and everything like that. And now working with a lot of clients and, just learning about people. Um, that's what I'm most interested in, is just learning how people operate and why they operate. And that's why I do what I do. So Raymond says, I want to first give my take on the topic. Okay. So Raymond says, I really don't know what I would do with myself without bodybuilding. Would I just go back to rotting in a game chair? Would I start drinking again? Would I get fat again? Like before, bodybuilding was really hard for me. Whether or not it's quote unquote worth it, that does not matter to me. I just know I am happier being a bodybuilder. I'm not going to try and justify the risk I'm taking to anyone. Someday I may get a wake up call, which would be like he gives examples of like a health scare or, unfavorable blood work, etc. And he said someday I may get that wake up call and have to quit bodybuilding, but I will worry about that when the time comes. Okay, fair. Josh with Salt, what up, what up, what up? The genetic components would be interesting to talk about. Yeah, we'll definitely dive into that. Someone with quote unquote good genetics would get more return on investment from the effort they put in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The sacrifices would feel more worth it. Very good, very good addition, Josh. Everyone keep what Josh said in mind as we go through this. Jay Money says, great points, Ray. I totally agree. Possible negatives do not outweigh the total positives. David chimes in and says, living the lifestyle, even after quote unquote giving up the competitive side, still lifting, still eating, still structured, less gear, less pushing, etc. Yeah. Okay. Pissed Pajamas. That's a dope ass name. What up, dude? What up? What up? What up? Sorry, I assumed you're a dude. I don't mean to do that. I call girls dude too, so like it's fine. The Thomas Turner. I'm turning 60 this year. What is your top advice or tips for older guys wanting to cut the gut and build the muscle? Yeah, dude. First off, that's great that you want to take control of your life. There's no there's no age where that's a good or a bad time to do that. Um, so I'm first off like good for you in realizing that that's important to add longevity to your life, no matter what age you are. So your question: what is your top advice or tips for older guys wanting to cut the gut, he says, and build the muscle. So yeah, Tom's turn. The first goal is to get lean as possible, get all the body fat that you can off. That's always goal number one. And this doesn't mean lean to the point where you think you're lean. It's lean to the point where you never even thought you could get that lean. That's how lean you need to get. Um, so when you think you're lean, you probably still have 12, 14, 16 more weeks of dieting to go. And that's not an insult. That's just the trend that I've seen over the hundreds of people that, I've coached. So of all ages, is that when we think we're lean, we're really not even touching the surface. So that is the first biggest tip. Um, the second tip would be do not get injured in the gym. Please don't fucking get hurt in the gym. Whether that means you need to hire someone to help you with working out, that can watch you and make sure you're not going to do any dumb shit. Hire a good professional, something like that. Just do not get hurt. Do not get hurt. That goes for younger guys too, but the older demographic, when we get hurt, when they get hurt, whatever demographic you fit in, when an injury happens, when you're let's say quote unquote older, I have plenty of clients that are 60 plus. So um, when the injuries happen in the older demographic, it's a little harder to recover from. Um, the younger guys will bounce back a bit quicker. So just do not get hurt. Do not get hurt. You will set yourself back so far. Um, so you just want to you train to the point where you're stimulating the muscle effectively. You don't need to be chasing a logbook or doing anything crazy. You don't need to chase the younger guys. Like it's not about any of that, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's not like fucking you're trying to go out and bang 20-year-olds. So like, like just chill. You just chill. Just enjoy your time in the gym. Be grateful that you can be there, and it's a privilege to be there. Don't take it for granted, and just don't get injured. Do not fucking get injured. And that's advice for younger guys too. That's advice for younger guys. Um, Other tips, man, I mean, just the obvious. Obviously, if you're not tracking food now, you need to start measuring, weighing, tracking your food. You need to make sure your blood works, all your blood work stuff is in good ranges. But yeah, really, my top advice is just to get incredibly lean first, and then you can slowly start adding calories back in, and slowly start putting on new muscle tissue. Um, but that first initial phase of getting really lean, you'll be surprised with how much more muscular you will look just by reducing body fat. Uh, J Money chimes in. Thomas says down here, yeah, I have to keep reminding myself I am not 20. Leave the ego out of it. Yeah, dude. Yeah, nothing. Just don't get hurt. I promise. Like that's the key right there. You will set yourself so far back. J Money, just to have a question kicking around. Okay. Any body parts slash movements you feel benefit from more of a oh, yeah, like a branch he's talking about like a ballistic you guys have seen Branch Warren train probably, if you're watching me, I'm sure you have. I'm sure you know who Ronnie Coleman is, I'm sure you've seen videos of them training. Um, it's more of a ballistic, explosive, aggressive, intense. I call it like cranking or slanging and banging, whatever you wanna call it. So Jay's question is, do you feel that there's certain body parts or movements that benefit from that style, that ballistic, like slang and bang, um, to a more methodical, precise control style? I call that like robot training, like training like a fucking boring ass robot. Um, yeah, Jay. When I first read this question, I'm just like back. You need to there's certain back movements you just need to fucking bang on them. You need to make sure that the body's moving right first, and that the scapulas are actually opening and shit, and you're not just like fucking using your biceps for everything. Um, but like my first initial like knee jerk answer is like back, like that. That's one muscle group that just like loves when you just get a little freaky with it and just slang and bang. And then like my initial knee jerk answer to like precise controlled would be something like biceps and triceps. But then what I will tell you is that every muscle group can benefit from both to a point. So really it's about like certain movements that for you, it's going to be individualized to you. For me, like I don't get anything from like ballistic, like slanging and banging on the leg press. Because I can just load a fucking leg press, and I will just load my hips and my knees, and I have a strong leg press. I can max that fucker out. It doesn't mean it's going to be productive for building muscle. So like when I do leg press, a lot of the times now it's like tempo work, and like people are probably using twice the amount of weight I am. Um, and I just don't, let that get to my head or anything. But yeah, I mean, there's certain muscles that you do want to keep like a rate of force development in certain muscle groups anyways. Like a lot of times Raymond and I will do um like right now we have cycled in an explosive like floor press with a Swiss bar, and that's to keep the rate of force development, like that speed training almost. Um, so yeah, I mean, I know it's a shitty answer, but like uh, all all of it, you need a mix of everything. It's always going to be a blend of everything. Um, but yeah, that explosive stuff can hit the muscle fiber different, um, and really challenge the muscle. Hi, babe. What you got? Uh huh. Um, let's see. David says, "Yeah, dude, I look way bigger than." Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, getting leaner is going to make the look dramatically different. You will have so much more muscle. Um, Thomas Turner asks, do you think nicotine is useful at all in terms of appetite suppressant or cognitive benefits, or is it best to avoid? If you already use nicotine now, then yeah, it's a good tool. I don't recommend picking up another bad habit. Um, the There he is. Hey, little man. Yeah, he's here. He's got his Target shopping cart and everything with Mr. Potato Head in it. What else you got in there? Oh, you got your owl. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Um yeah, so Thomas, I wouldn't like pick up um a nicotine habit just to suppress appetite. Or just for the cognitive benefits, because there's cognitive benefits to things like alpha GPC. There's some peptides you can use with cognitive benefits. There's a lot of peptides you can use, obviously, for appetite suppressant. Um, so, would I pick up the habit of nicotine if I wasn't already a nicotine user? I don't know. I'd be very hard pressed to ever put that in someone's program if they've never used nicotine before. Um, if you are going to use nicotine, like you've decided that that is the best tool, I would look into like, hi, baby. I would look into like low dose lozenges. Like you can find like 1 to 2 milligrams, or like a low dose chewable gum, like a Nicorette. I think they do make pretty low dose pouches. You can probably find pouches in the 2 to 3 milligram range. But yeah, I would stay like low dose nicotine if you are going to use it. But I just think there's so many other avenues to go before that, and that's coming from a nicotine user. I would just hate to see someone pick up the habit if they don't already have that habit. Mel says, banded chest supported T-bar rows fun. Sling around heavy. Yeah, it's important um to move some weight sometimes. As long as it's intentional, and intended for the muscle that you're trying to target. And not just all on, the joints and ligaments and shit like that, cuz and tendons, cuz then you're you're going to find yourself in trouble really quick. And I'm pretty sure Branch and Ronnie's tendons were made of like cable wire. like fucking made of railroad tied. Those guys, they were like unbreakable. Johnny Jackson is another one with like that ballistic style of training. It's all good shit. I love it, but um, you just can't do it for everything. You can't do it for everything, or you're gonna wind up in a world of pain. Those were all good questions. Let's see. Good morning, coach and chat. What up, Matt? Welcome, 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 welcome. Hopefully, you're feeling better. I just told the chat that I was dying the last 2 days. So, I think I told you already, but back in business now. So, I'll take the rest of the weekend off. Probably should be good to train Monday. The topic of the day: is bodybuilding worth it? Oh, yeah. So this one is so partly where this comes up every so often. Um where and it doesn't always happen this way, but a lot of the times how I've seen it happen in the past was we have someone near and dear to us that passes, um and they happen to be a competitive bodybuilder. Um, John Meadows, Jason Lowe, Matt Porter, Boston Lloyd, whatever. You can go on and on and on. We don't need to list everyone. And I would hate to forget to list people and things like that. But the pattern that seems to happen, hi, is that, and it doesn't mean that it's even correlated, but it's just what I've seen. Someone passes, and then you'll see that multiple people, and it could totally be coincidence, decide to stop bodybuilding at either a competitive level or just a high level lifestyle where the gear doses are higher, there's more risk and everything like that. Everything's more calculated with how they're eating. There, some people are like living like a bodybuilder, just never getting on stage, so a lot of people even stop doing that. So a lot of the times, what I've seen it stem from is someone that we know and love passes. They happen to be like in our age group, or sometimes we're even older than them, and we see them pass, and we're like, "What the hell?" Weird. So then, what happens is like multiple guys. Hi, babe. Multiple guys will announce that they're kind of done bodybuilding, and then the next thing that happens is negativity comes out about these people announcing that they're done bodybuilding. Like, people get really salty when they see people like downsizing and everything like that. For whatever reason, it just like hurts them personally. Not for whatever reason, we'll get into it, but um, so, guys will start downsizing, like, "Hey, I'm not really interested in dying." And everyone's like, "Well, doesn't mean you're gonna die, and doesn't mean that person died from bodybuilding." And it's like, okay, guys, what are we talking about? Because there's no surprise that like what we do is not good for us. And depending on what level and extreme you take that to is different for everyone. But so basically, what I want to talk about is how do we make that decision? And I've had multiple clients, and this is where it came from because I've had multiple clients reach out to me like, "Hey, how do I know if I should continue doing this? Like, I'm taking all these risks and like I'm running X, Y, and Z, and I got fifth place at my last local show." Right? That's the one example. Or, man, my kids are young and I don't know if I should be doing this. I don't feel right about it. That's another example. And so I've gotten several emails and messages on Instagram, things like that about like, hi, like, how do you make this decision? And, a lot of it came from Chase, and Chase deciding that he's not really interested in blasting gear anymore. That's not his thing. He's done with that. Um, he doesn't want to do that anymore. It's not his thing anymore. And people are like really upset about it. A lot of people are super fucking cool. Like, hell yeah, dude, good call. We're glad to see you moving on and doing bigger and better things. Fuck yeah. And then other people were just like, bro, you look like shit now. Like, just like crazy stuff. I read the craziest stuff. I had to stop reading it because like I don't like social media drama. So like I didn't want to. I felt like I was going to start responding to people. Like I actually like would click reply, like, and then I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. But so I would just like put my phone down before I would say something stupid. But Dylan in the house. What up, Dylan? David says what Chase is doing is incredible. He looks amazing. So part of that is where this topic came from, and I think part of the influx or the mass surplus of questions that I'm getting stemmed from Chase because we're all followers and believers and supporters of him. So I think a lot of the questions that I'm getting are directly reflective of that. How do I know? Because when Chase was doing the sugar diet, I had like 40 clients ask me if they could do it. And that's just the type of influence he has on us, and that's okay. Um, so Dylan says Chase's shift only surprised me since I hadn't seen an update until a story he posted a couple weeks ago. I'm very happy for him. Amy says, I will never understand what makes people think they have a say in how someone else looks. Thank you. That's you can't say anything any better than that. David says, yeah, when you haven't seen him and he's down 50 pounds, it's a huge shock. He's down 50 pounds. He's still 200 pounds with lean abs. That's still the 2% of the world. Show me a 39-year-old physique. Show me an average 39-year-old physique. Please, someone find a fucking picture and send it to me. Please. I know a lot of 39-year-olds. They don't look anywhere near what Chase does. They don't look anywhere near what Chase does. He will always look better than 99% of people in his age group, whatever age he is at that time. So let's talk about this. First, I want to explain, and again, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on any of psychology or therapy or the human mind. I'm not an expert on this. I just want to explain what I've gathered over my existence. So this is how decisions are made. And this goes for anything, literally anything. And I learned this from being in sales. Um, Amy chimes in. I care about how I feel. All that matters, and what my coach says that matters a little bit, and a little of the judge's feedback that matters even a little less. So you nailed it. You nailed it. So this is how decisions are made. In order to make a decision, it has to be valuable to us. And to quantify valuable, when people say, is it worth it? Which I fucking hate that saying. That's why I put it all over the thumbnail because and that's why if I ever say worth it, I always put it in air quotes or literal quotes because I hate that saying so incredibly much because someone else cannot in any way, shape, or form tell you what is worth it or not worth it. They cannot do it. It's not possible for anyone else to tell you, an individual, a grown up, if something is worth it or not worth it. Here's why. This is how decisions are made. We make decisions based off if it will be valuable. We can call that, is it worth it? So, what worth it means is perceived benefits divided by the cost. Okay. Right. So, this is really simple in when you're going to purchase something. Okay. So, you're trying to make a decision. Is this watch, let's say a Rolex watch, is this Rolex watch worth it? 18 of your friends are going to say, dude, you're an idiot if you buy that watch. But in your mind, you have a perceived benefit of that watch compared to what it's worth. So if the benefits of that watch, that Rolex watch, let's call it a $25,000 watch. If the benefits exceed the value, right, or the cost of 25,000, if the benefits far exceed that, you will buy that watch every single time until the benefits no longer exceed what you in your mind perceive, is more than the cost. So the benefits may be, hey, that watch is actually going to go up in value. That watch is going to last me forever. That watch is almost like a emergency backup. If you know, if I buy that $25,000 watch and shit hits the fan, well, fuck, I can just go sell that watch and get 25 grand real quick. Get that back if I ever need to get myself out of a pinch. Um, that watch may level me up in status of whoever I spend time with. They may take me more serious because of the watch I'm wearing. And yeah, some of this may sound silly to people, but this is an individual creating perceived benefits over the cost of the watch. The cost is, well, the cost is $25,000. That's the currency. The other cost is, well, I have to drive 8 hours to go get this watch, and I have to pick it up in person. So I might have to take a day off work, and my wife, we might get in an argument over the watch, and these are some of the things that can be determined as costs, not just currency. And so the benefits, if they're still exceeding all those things I just listed, you will buy that watch every time. You will buy that watch every time until the benefits no longer exceed the cost, right? So here's how it works in, let's say, a Chase Iron scenario, right? The benefits for him of blasting gear at one point was, one, he enjoyed doing it. He enjoyed doing it. He loved the lifestyle. He loved experimenting. He loved teaching. He loved learning. He still loves those things. I don't mean to say it as past tense, but um, he loved the feeling of being on gear. Um, all these perceived benefits that he had. He got more viewership. He got more members. He had, blasting gear potentially in a transitive was adding currency and income to his life. So there's these benefits, and the list continues to go on. The list continues of his perceived benefits at that time. And I don't mean to speak for him. I'm just telling you this is how it likely went. Okay. All these perceived benefits of blasting gear, the way he felt, looked, the attraction, the following he built. And I'm not saying he needed to blast gear to build his following, but a lot of people were following him to see what the fuck he was doing. What's up? What's he doing? This is cool. This is exciting. We all watched it, right? And the cost at that time was, of course, currency, financial. Um, you know, there's obviously risk. Those are all costs. But when you look at Chase's blood work and all of his scans and all those things, they were all good on paper. Everything was clean. Everything looked great. So, guys, I listed all those benefits, and the cost was like, I mean, his blood work still looked good. All his heart scans look good. All this shit still look good. So, tell me, how could you not make that decision to continue if all of these benefits are outweighing costs? That's always the formula. Perceived benefits over costs. That determines if something is worth it. So when someone asks, is it worth it? That is the formula. Perceived benefits over costs. So Chase had nothing but benefits at one point when he was blasting gear and living the bodybuilder lifestyle and being 280 pounds and doing all these fun things. So where does it flip? Well, the timeline changes. He now has a 2-year-old daughter, right? And he now owns multiple companies. He employs multiple people who have families, who he is now responsible for feeding all of these families. It's not just him and his wife anymore. So now you can see the cost of what he is doing is really starting to shift. Maybe all the benefits are still the same, but that bottom number, that bottom cost is becoming dramatically different because he has family after family to feed. He's responsible for all of these employees. He needs life insurance for his family. You can't get life insurance if you're blasting fucking 5, 4, 3 grams of gear. You're not going to get life insurance if you're 260, 280 pounds and you're 5'9". No one's giving you fucking life insurance, dude. You're a ticking time bomb. So now the cost is, well, if I pass, my family doesn't have life insurance for me, so they don't get any fucking money. That's now added to his cost column. And all of these things, the cost becomes dramatically different. So from a fan or a follower looking in, they can just be like, well, Chase just, he this is a terrible look and he doesn't want to live the lifestyle like me anymore. Guys, because the benefits do not outweigh the cost anymore for him. And he made that decision on his own. No one else could do it for him. So that is how decisions are made, no matter what the decision is. Perceived benefits over costs. If you're deciding if you should get married or not, there are benefits to being married, and there's a cost to being married. As soon as those do not, it's not a favorable ratio anymore, you will choose to not get married. If the benefits always outweigh the cost, you will get married and you will likely stay married if those benefits still outweigh the cost. It goes with anything, guys. Anytime we go to purchase something, any decision we decide to make, any drug that we plan to use, right? I talked about people with drug addiction. Why do those people decide to relapse? They've been clean for so long. Well, because the perceived benefits of what that drug might do for them at that time is exceeding the cost at that time. A lot of the times it's because they're in a damaged state or a low state, where the perceived benefits are a little bit fuzzy and they seem higher than the cost because you can't always see the true cost at the time when you're in a state of potential relapse or something like that. So that's long story short. That's how I wanted to explain this to people because I had people ask me like, why is Chase doing this? And I'm like, well, one, it doesn't matter, and two, how do you not know why he's doing this? How do you not understand it? Because this, meaning blasting gear and trying to get big as fuck, does not outweigh the cost for him anymore. The cost is way too large for him. The cost is way too large. The benefits don't even scratch the surface anymore. And that's how he can walk away and not even really have it phase him because the cost is so dramatically large that the actual benefits for him are in that cost. So the benefits of blasting gear are just gone. They're just gone. So why do it? Why would he even bother? And people can't understand that. And that's okay. They don't have to. Because at the end of the day, it's his decision. It's for him. So when people ask me, like, man, I'm doing all this shit. I feel like I'm nailing every day. My diet is dialed in, and you know, I just took fourth at my local show. And is this even worth it? Like my blood work's kind of fucked up. My wife is mad at me. I have 3 kids that are all under 8 years old. Like, you know, is it worth it? Well, I don't know. You have to internalize that, and you have to, list out the benefits, truly list out the benefits and see if that outweighs the cost. And only then will you know how to make decisions for yourself. But if you're going around asking people, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Then you need to internalize all that and figure it out for yourself because no one can answer, is it worth it for you? And that goes with anything. That goes with anything. Tommy, is pharmaceutical growth hormone worth it? I don't know. I don't know. What are the benefits for you? If the benefits are all of these things and the cost is, yeah, it's still expensive, but if the benefits are far out exceeding that, then yeah, pharmaceutical growth hormone may be worth it for you. Maybe if those benefits, perceived benefits, don't outweigh the cost, maybe you're better off sticking with the Chinese stuff. Okay. That's as simple as that. And then we don't have to get out our pitchforks like, this stupid idiot wastes his money on pharmaceutical growth. Why do you care? Because the reason he or she wastes their money on pharmaceutical growth hormone is because their perceived benefit outweighs the cost. Because it doesn't for you does not mean you get to fucking decide for anyone else. It does not mean you get to decide for anyone else. Half the time in a debate like that, only half the time, it's broke ass people mad that other people can afford to buy the expensive growth hormone. And that's only some of the time. A lot of the times, there's people who make plenty of money who still want to run Chinese growth hormone. It's totally fine. No one should fucking bash them either because the perceived benefits outweighs the cost. And for pharmaceutical, it does not. It does not make sense in their head. So that's what I wanted to touch on. And I know a lot of people are gonna view this and either want to hear if I think bodybuilding is worth it or not. And that's not what I want to do. I want you guys to learn how to make that call for yourself. And that call is simply that formula of perceived benefits over cost. And Once you can do that formula for yourself and honestly with yourself, that's the only way you'll know if anything is worth it. That's how we make decisions on everything. That's how we make decisions on everything, whether we're purchasing a car, a home, whether we're purchasing a piece of art. You know how many fucking people buy paintings that are like over $50 million and it's literally like a circle? It's and they're like, fucking check out this painting, and you're looking at it and it's a circle. You're like, is it an apple? They're like, what the fuck? What are you talking about, bro? This was $58 million. You think it's a fucking apple? I'm like, oh, well, dude. I mean, it looks like an apple. Okay. That's where it goes, guys, because the perceived benefits of the person who purchased that painting were high as fuck compared to that cost. That's it. You can't fucking decide for other people because you cannot determine the perceived benefits for them. That's how it works. And if you're trying to convince someone to buy your shit, you need to make the benefits seem as high as possible so that the cost seems lower. It works the same way. Whether you're trying to make a decision for yourself or convince other people to make a decision, or you're trying to convince your wife to let you buy a Shelby GT500, you better make those benefits higher than the cost in her mind. We already know the benefits are high in your mind. You need to convince her that the perceived benefits make sense if you want to buy that car, right? So that's it. I just wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want to, you know, I don't ever want to push anyone way in one direction or the other. Um, but I've just had a lot of people where they're just kind of stuck because maybe it's their third or fourth show and they're like, fuck, like, I mean, this guy's already first call out and at nationals and he just smoked me. Like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Like, that goes through people's head and that's okay until the ratio gets fucked up of perceived benefits over costs. Stay with it. And if the ratio is already fucked up, you probably shouldn't be a competitive bodybuilder if the ratio is not right for you. But it's all about determining that for yourself. Peyton in the house, he chimes in. You just hit the main problem, Tommy. We look at our own shortcomings and try to avoid them by complaining about what other people do in their lives rather than looking inward to improve ourselves. Yeah, the analogy would be, cleaning your own room before you tell someone to clean their room, right? Make sure your shit's all fucking buttoned up before you're telling other people how to fix theirs, right? So yeah, that's huge. But at the same time, we can never determine for someone what the benefits are of what they're doing because that's an internalized thing. So perceived benefits come from inside, and it's not something. Um, let's see. Okay, I want to dive into these questions that came in on the email because they're about this topic. Basically, the topic of is bodybuilding worth it? Obviously, what we've touched on was worth it is the calculation of perceived benefits divided by cost. That's all a personal thing. It's all an individualized calculation. You need to make it on your own, honestly, with yourself, on determining if it's worth it or not. So the question of, based off that topic, how would you approach maintaining a balanced lifestyle in terms of gear, training, and nutrition if you chose not to compete anymore or not to make bodybuilding your number one priority? Specifically, how would you ensure that your health, family life, other hobbies, or just things you want to experience, like travel, are harmonized while still making progress in developing your physique. Um, I'm gonna assume the question is literally directed towards me on what I would do. Um, how would I approach maintaining a balanced lifestyle in terms of gear training and nutrition if I chose not to compete anymore? Um, I don't think my life would change dramatically. To be honest, I don't think my life would change dramatically. Um, I would probably, I probably wouldn't run as much gear. My training wouldn't change at all. Nutrition, I would make sure like my like my Puri workout nutrition was nailed every day, which is easy because I train in the morning anyways, and that would continue to stay that way. But I would do like my breakfast, my intra drink, my post workout, and then an hour or two later, my next meal. And then if I don't know what would happen, like if I wasn't competing, I might not eat the rest of the day. I don't know. Maybe just eat when I get home or off work or whatever. I really don't know. um, how would you ensure that your health, family life, or other hobbies or just things you want to experience travel? You can't have both, unfortunately. So like you would have to you'd have to determine how much progress you're willing to lose because you can't make the same progress if you're not taking it as serious. Um, and even if I don't compete anymore, which I have no intention of like stopping competing, that's not what this is about. Um, and people are asking, well, why is it worth it to you? And it's, well, if you have to ask me, then you won't understand. Because the people that don't ask me why I'm still bodybuilding and being competitive in bodybuilding, they already get it. If you have to ask me, you just won't understand the answer anyways. So I wouldn't bother telling you. And it's my thing anyways. It's my personal decision. It's not up to you, and I don't have to justify it. But my life wouldn't change a ton if I wasn't competitive in bodybuilding. My honestly, like everything would look pretty similar. Um, to be fair, I probably, I don't know, I probably wouldn't track my meals like as closely. I don't know. I don't know. I would probably do like a lot more mega fit like frozen meals, and like I would probably wouldn't cook my own food at all anymore, which I barely do anyways. I buy mega fit proteins already. So I would probably just buy the whole meal, and I would probably buy 3 or 4 a day, and then the other 2 meals would probably be like 2 or 3 meals would probably be like protein shake based, for example. So that's one thing that I would really change is I wouldn't fucking cook anything. I would buy all my meals pre-made, frozen. Then all I'd have to do is heat them up. I wouldn't meal prep shit. So that's one. I guess that's one thing that would change. As far as nutrition gear, I probably wouldn't run as much gear. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. But yeah, I would not. I would not cook a goddamn thing. I'm being honest there. Um, Dad Strength. Hopefully that answers some of your questions. Any comments on the recent claims that RFK will make peptides available to compounding pharmacies? Will this destroy OA? Um, I don't know what he said. I don't follow any of that shit. I don't care. Any of the recent comments that RFK Dude, you know that, like, just as an example, you know that testosterone is available to compounding pharmacies. You want to know where I don't get my testosterone? From compounding pharmacies. That's just one example. You know that Anavar is available to compounding pharmacies. You want to know where I don't get my Anavar? From compounding pharmacies. I'll be right back. I gotta pee. Oh, all right. Sorry. What did I miss? What were we talking about? Compounding pharmacies? What the fuck? Who the fuck buys shit from compounding pharmacies, anyways, bro? That shit's wild. That shit's wild. Have you fucking. No, no one uses those shits. Will this destroy OA? Nah, bro, we good. We good. We're okay. FDA unbanned things like BPC, Tommy. Oh, okay. So people so people will be able to get them at Hims and shit again. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna buy my $95 Viagra pill in my $300 10 milligram bottle of BPC. Nice. Good luck with that. Mel said there will always be a competitive market. Alex says compounding pharmacies are expensive as fuck. Yeah, what the fuck? I wouldn't buy fucking anything from them. I get my tests from a compounding pharmacy. Yeah, Amy, but you run. I'm not going to say what you run, but it's not a lot compared to what we run. So for you, it might make sense. So if you spend $95 on a bottle of test, that might make sense for you. The perceived benefits outweigh the cost. See how that works? We just talked about it. Yeah, I don't worry about stuff like that. How many bodybuilders buy their prescription meds from India? And that stuff isn't even very expensive here. People still buy underground peptides. How many bodybuilders buy their prescription meds from India? And that stuff isn't even expensive here. People still buy underground peptides. Agree that there will be choices and price will always be compounding research chem China. Yeah. Yeah, I mean there's certain shit that I don't bother fucking trying to get cheap as fuck. Like blood pressure medication and shit. Like I don't try to get that from fucking China for like 30 cents. I'll just get it from a compounding pharmacy, like Amy said, because I don't fucking care. Um, Dylan's example is cream of rice. Why is that a good example? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. Why is that an example? Are you saying, oh, you're saying I will buy my flavored cream of rice? Yeah, I do too. I don't give a fuck. You guys can grind your shitty fucking rice in your coffee grinders. I am buying flavored fucking cream of rice. I don't care because the perceived benefits are worth more than the cost for me. So kiss my ass. Amy just said, "Oh my god, I just finished my first leg day of my updated plan. I am done. I love it." Yeah, we are. Amy is getting slammed with volume and intensity right now. So yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be good shit. Um, guys, that's what every decision comes down to. Are the perceived benefits more than the cost? Every decision we make comes down to that. And it doesn't mean we have to sit down with a notepad and like figure it out. Even if it's a quick decision, like I decided to drink this energy drink and my stomach has been fucked up for the last 3 days. I still decided to drink this because because the perceived benefits to me were higher than the cost may be. It may result in me pissing out my ass in the next hour. But guess what? The perceived benefits where I haven't had one of these fuckers in 3 days, and today was the day I was going to have it. So, I made a quick decision because the perceived benefits were worth more than the cost. That's it. Cherry limeade, perceived benefits always outweighs the cost, says Austin. Man, this is the second time I've been busted with this flavor. It's all right. It's all right. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I've never had the sour strips flavor, Dylan. He says ghost sour strips flavor is great. No, I've never even seen it, bro. Oh, Amazon? Okay. Amazon. Okay. $12 for 26 or 12 for 26. Okay. Maybe I'll try that. Yeah, that's it. That's how you decide if bodybuilding is worth it. It's how you decide if anything is worth it. That's what the word worth means. It means value. And value is the formula that we went over. You guys will thank me one day when it comes to making a decision. And you're going to say, hey, are the perceived benefits worth more than the cost? And that's it. And then if you're trying to convince someone to let you spend money on something like a partner. Hey, partner, can I buy this new thing? You better make those benefits high, especially if that cost is high. You better make that benefit real high. So good, so good, so good that they can't say no. They cannot say no. Oh, Dylan, have you thought about diving into a full day of eating or an occasional vlog style videos for the YouTube? No. I've thought about I don't have any days off anymore, Dylan. Um my part-time job became a full-time job and my coaching is my roster's very full. I wouldn't even be able to do it. I don't even have time in the day anymore. Don't even have time in the day. The guys that can make those videos, dude, like they literally don't do anything all day long. I don't mean to be a dick, but they don't. Or that is like their job to make those videos. I've debated to attempt to do one soon. Perceive benefits over costs, brother. That's how you'll determine if your full day of eating vlog video is worth it. Would like to improve my shitfluencer style. Yeah, you don't have to do what everyone else is doing though. Do your own shit. Because you're just eating the same fucking dumb shit as everyone else, anyways. Unless you're doing something cool, but I don't think you are because I've seen your diet. It's not cool. I don't know. I think it'd be cool to do. He said kiwis are fun. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the guy to ask for advice on how to be an influencer. That's for sure. Marty says I try to make my food Mexicanish. Yeah, I me too, honestly. I mean, if you think about it, like bodybuilding food kind of is. You know what I mean? I would say like Asian and Mexican like bodybuilding foods are probably in line with those most. Maybe I don't know. It's like meats and rice and sometimes like potatoes. Like the fuck else do we eat? There's really not many more options out there. Like some sourdough bread, Ezekiel toast, like maybe some oats, some cream of rice. There's not that many options. It's quite boring, but it's okay. I like all the food. I don't know what else there is to eat. Yeah, actually, grilled chicken too. Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, like I said, I've been trying to eat like a normal person the last like 2, 3 days, and like I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how to do it. I'm like, I'm struggling to like just like grab a snack out of the fucking pantry. Like it's weird for me. It really is. Oh, Dylan says Kinder's caramelized onion butter is a great seasoning to try. That sounds like it would fucking wreck my gut. Avocados make it instantly Mexican, says Mel. True. That's true. Only pantry snack I can think of is rice cakes. Oh, it's cool though. Like, if you ever have kids, I can't remember if you want to have kids or not, but if you do, or you have nieces and nephews or whatever you guys might end up having, um, you have way more cool snacks in the pantry. like fucking fig bars and shit. So there's some cool snacks out there. Teddy Grahams and fucking whatever. Tony Chachichris on top. Tony's Kinder's Goya. Mel says I make healthy chicken fried rice. Yeah. Dave's chicken rub. I don't use, I don't use any of this shit. You guys are fucking. Then again, I don't cook anymore. I just order my fucking proteins cooked. Yeah, literally. I use condiments sometimes. But yeah, basically just salt. Dylan said, "Don't you know I'm still a child?" Salt, more salt, and a little more. Yeah, pretty much salt is all I really use anymore. Some of the flavor gang sauces are okay. Every once in a while, I'll throw some of those on. Jay says salt and pepper go a long way. Peyton says Redmond's or Celtic salt. Yeah. Yeah, I just do Redmond's. I never care. I think we I think we have Celtic salt. I think Amanda used that when she was pregnant for whatever reason. Jay must be dieting. I'd eat cardboard right now if I had if it had salt and pepper. Oh yeah. Mhm. Just discovered G Hughes. Yeah, that's good shit. Yeah, Marty, I've done man, that's like when you first get into dieting, like not first, but like your first couple of years and like following bodybuilding diets, like Marty says, I'll do some ghetto stuff with Greek yogurt and try to make like ranch from it. You try to do shit like that at first, and then you're just like, this is just time consuming and it's not even that good. You just give up eventually. You literally just give up. You're like, fuck this. And then you have to count like the Greek yogurt macros separate if you're a macro guy, which Marty, I think you are following a macro plan right now. So like then you have to count the Greek yogurt. You have to do more math, and it's like, I probably just could have got my protein from one source, and then this would have been much easier to math. Um, then again, a lot of you guys use like Chronometer and stuff now, but David says, "Man, it's bad when me and my cousin are dieting at the same time. He's fighting next week, so we're both about as lean as we ever get. We're just sending each other reels of cinnamon rolls, bro. Awful, awful, dude. Awful. That's so bad. That's like the worst fucking friend to have. That's the worst friend to have. Your cousin's an asshole. Now your algorithm's all fucked up on your cell phone. Fucking everyone is eating a cinnamon roll on your cell phone. Like, oh my god. Crystal's finding out about the fight here live. Nice work, David. Way to share the info with Crystal, you fuck. Small says, I'd rather be hungry with more time in the day than still hungry with less time. Fair, yeah, for sure. J Money, I've kept the food off my Instagram, luckily. Dude, during prep, I didn't have one thing of food on my Instagram. I lucked the fuck out too. I lucked the fuck out. I've never been to like a live fight like that. Yeah, I've never seen like any fights. I've never even really watched them on TV to be fair. My dad and I used to watch boxing when I was a kid on HBO, but other than that, like I've never um I don't have much experience with seeing like MMA live or anything. Josh says Elevate is re-releasing their cinnamon roll flavor. Yeah, I saw that. That's probably going to be good. Um, I haven't done Elevate in a while. I've been Pride is my number one cream of rice, and then Flavor Gang every once in a while. I keep it in rotation, but sometimes it's too like sweet and artificial tasting. But I do like Flavor Gang or whatever they call it, Bowl of Gains. Jay said his algorithm's just a bunch of dudes with shredded glutes. I'm not sure if that's better or not. It's not. Mine's just cars. Cars that I can't afford. Or I could afford if I didn't bodybuild. Those perceived benefits are really changing. David said, I don't like fights on TV, but in person they're more fun. I only need to go to support him. I'm not really in. Yeah. That makes sense. Cinnamon roll flavor. David's gonna try that. It does sound good. J Money said Sarah Stem over Mustang payment. It's sad that that is probably an equal trade off. It's so fucking sad how accurate that is. That is literally an equal payoff, an equal trade off. I was gonna look something up. I forgot what. I think it had to do with Sarostim versus Mustang payment. I'm not gonna do the math because I found that if you just don't do the math, it just doesn't hurt as bad. Um, yeah, my Explore page isn't much better, Jay. I got let's see, Mustangs, Corvettes, men flexing in their underwear, Ford GT40, more Shelbys and Mustangs, more men doing front double biceps and Audis and BMWs and Porsche. Um, yeah, just cars and men. Pretty standard shit. Pretty standard. Mm, cars and men. Yep. Hmm. Yeah, that's it. No food in there, you fat asses. Okay, let's see. I got distracted by Marty says, I need to wear Chase's I Love Sarah shirt in LA. I'd probably find some dudes. Maybe not maybe not the type of dudes you're looking for, Marty, but you might find them. Oh, Alex, I already know. Bro, I already know. I don't have to do the math that closely to know that if I stopped using growth hormone, specifically, if I stopped using growth hormone, I could buy a GT 500 like today if I stop using if I stop using growth hormone. Yeah. I don't have to. That's so sad. So fucking dumb. That's where it comes in, guys. That's where the perceived benefits over cost comes in. Right there. Right fucking there. Man. David says my explore page is bodybuilding, shirt design, and food. Yeah, I try to keep the food off my all my algorithms. Josh has a good one. If you didn't make progress, but instead only want to maintain your current physique, no matter how much effort you put in, would that change how you live? Yeah. Assuming that you'd still get the health benefits? Yeah. So if I didn't make progress, but instead I just wanted to maintain where I am right now, your current physique, no matter how much effort you put in, would that change how you live? 100%. Um, so what I would do, like in a perfect world, I would probably follow some sort of like a carb backloading type diet. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with carb backloading, but essentially it's low carb all day long. And then a lot of times there's some fasting involved. Um, so I would do something like that. And then the last meal of the day is like the largest meal, and you're essentially allowed to have like skip loading type foods. Um, So you could even do like bakery things and like whatever, high carb, lower fat, doesn't have to be zero fat. But yeah, I would do that's probably like if I want to maintain where I am right now, I would run like a high dose cruise. Uh I don't know. I don't love giving numbers, but probably like 300 testosterone and like maybe some Proviron or Masteron. And then like 4 to 6, I use a growth hormone, and I would just live there, probably like forever. And my dieting style would be like, like I said, some fasting probably involved. Um, there would be low carb during the day, or I would just like go the whole fucking day without eating. And then that last meal, I would just hit harder, where I would keep most of my carbs, all of my carbs towards the end of the day. You backload the carbs. That would fuel me for the workout the next morning. And that I think for like a lifestyle type person, that is like one of the easiest things to follow. Like during the day, you're kind of not really interested in eating anyways. If you're like me, I could go all day without eating. And that's coming from someone who is my appetite is stupid fucking high, like 24/7, besides the last 3 days. Normally my appetite is like outrageously high. So like during the day, I would just eat, you know, probably a couple fattier cuts of red meat, maybe some veggies, and whatever, and then the last meal of the day would be probably whatever the fuck I want, to be fair, within reason. And I would do that. I probably wouldn't track much at all, if anything. I don't think I would track anything, to be fair, like at all. And then, you'd weigh yourself once a week, maybe Saturdays, see if the weight's going up and the look is getting worse. You back off that last meal, or you don't do that last meal as heavy every night of the week. Something strategic like that is that's probably what I would do, Josh. I would do something like very stupid, like mindless, like you don't have to track. I would probably buy like I would probably go to like Costco and buy like whatever X amount of pounds of ribeye. And I'd be like, okay, during the day, I'm gonna eat 2 pounds of ribeye. Whether I split that up into 4, 5, 6 meals, it doesn't fucking matter. And then my last meal of the day is whatever I want. And then you can like at least have like a stand like something that's like standardized, um or like 2 packs of ground bison, right? Just like something stupid simple, um you know something along those lines. I would just make it so incredibly simple that I wouldn't even have to think about it. But again, like the other thing that I would consider doing is just pre-ordering all my food and never cooking again. So I would just have a freezer full of like vertical diet meals or mega fit meals or whatever. Insert here. There's a million of them now. Um, I've tried both vertical diet and mega fit. They're both good. So the other thing I might do, like if I were to do what you're saying, if I wanted to just maintain my current physique, I would, you know, do my morning meal, which would be like cream of rice, and then I would train, and then I would do my post workout like cereal or cream of rice, whatever, something fast, and then I would do a mega fit meal. Then like 3 4 hours later, I would do another mega fit meal, and then I might just eat dinner with my wife when I get home, and then maybe have like whatever something else before we go to bed, depending on like how the timing lines up and everything. But yeah, it wouldn't be anything like crazy or like measured or tracked or anything like that. I really would just go off feeling and like watching the mirror with the scale and just like auto regulating, just making calls on the fly. That's what John Meadows did, guys. Like, that's what John Meadows did for a long time. Once, he'd just be like, I'm not hungry, so I'm just probably not going to eat right now. It's like that can go such a long way, you know, just like listening to your body for once. Like, I don't really fucking feel like eating. Like, so if I were Josh, like what you're asking to try to maintain my current physique, I would really, really listen to my body. Like, if I don't feel like eating right now, or the next meal sounds gross, I would either change what that next meal is or just not eat it and not feel bad about it and not give a fuck, you know? Amy says math can hurt. I don't know that there's much more. I don't know there's many things out there that hurt more than math. It's so in your face and fucking absolute, and you cannot run from it. Yeah, you're welcome, Josh. Thanks for the question. Yeah, I would just standardize something, make it so repeatable, so fucking easy, um, that you just like can't fail. You just can't fail. So again, it would be whatever it is, whether it's one extreme or the other. Part of me like would really entertain the idea of just like low carb during the day and then at night just eating pretty much whatever the fuck I want. And that's probably where I would live for a while and just within reason. Like if the body just started like falling apart and I started feeling like shit and digestion was terrible, then yeah, something's gonna have to change. But more than likely, that's like the simplicity that I would want back. That's what I do after contests. Like, um, well, this last one was different because I just listened to whatever AJ told me to do. But a lot of times, like after a contest, like the first couple days after the show, like I'll just eat like one or two, maybe three like bigger meals, and that's it. And I just eat when I'm hungry, and I eat what I want to eat. Um, so just really intuitive and just. But to be fair, it took me a long time to get where I am. So I think the more disciplined you are up front, you can build yourself a little bit of freedom on the back end over time. Jay says, seeing Sam Sulek on your feed, how do you think things will go for him at the Arnold? Seems to have improved a lot. Oh man, I think Sam will do good. I don't know as far as like placing or anything, but yeah, he's gonna look significantly better than his last showing. Um, I never know like how to predict um like how people will place and things based off like Instagram posts, because it's always just like they're always standing like in a room on their own with no one next to them, and like they're in like superior lighting, and like of course everyone looks fucking dope when they're on an island of their own until you're standing next to fucking Mike the Badass. What a weird name. Change that name. Just go by Mike. Fuck. Just go by Mike. God darn it. Fucking weirdos. Mike the Badass. Shut up, dude. Shut the fuck up. Amy said, Audis and big muscles is my entire IG feed. Me too. Me too, Amy. It's fucking weird. You need some flavor in there, dude. You can't just be on Audis all the time. I'll send you some stuff. You need some Ferrari. You need some Porsche. Lamborghini I can do without. I don't care for Lamborghinis. They're fucking boring. Let's see. Some Lamborghinis are okay. You probably could get some American stuff in there, Amy. We'll see. I'll think about it. Alex G. LA in the house, he said to Marty, my neighbor. That's right. Tommy, have you tried Gorilla Mind energy drinks? Absolutely delicious. I'm trying to remember if I have. I know I've tried the bum and energy ones. I don't I think I might have. But it's been, if I have, it's been a long time, dude. It's been a long time. You say red gummy fish is fire. Okay. I'll try some. I'll try some. I'll let you know. I'll try some of those. Josh said Gorilla Mind has so many good flavors. I'm sure they do. I mean, that's a huge company now. There's a lot of money behind that company. They can do whatever the fuck they want. Monster Ghost and Bucked Up. I've never tried any Bucked Up stuff. I was just like under the thought process that it was just a bunch of caffeine, but maybe they're not. Alex said I'm going to buy 2 cases in a bit. Yeah, I will have to try the Gorilla Mine. I just never like giving Derek my money because he has enough money. He doesn't need mine. I'm kidding. Kind of. J Money says he always looks like an undersized open guy on Instagram, but I think on stage he'll have more of a classic look compared to. Aren't all classic guys just undersized open guys? Fucking fight me on that one. I dare you. Aren't all classic bodybuilders just small open guys? Smaller. Test my gangster, Jay. See if I fucking care. Tell me I'm wrong. He said realistically, yes. Okay, good. Good answer. Alex said the Sam Sulek memes kill me on Instagram. I don't know if I've seen any of them. Maybe I have. Maybe I have. Lots of well-shaped classic guys that'll be hard to beat. Peyton says, I love Gorilla Mind. Uridine and some good stuff in there. Okay, yeah. I figured they would probably formulate them well because of who is behind the company. 4 cases in the fridge. All right. I would have to clear out some Serostim if I want to fit that many cases of fucking energy drinks in there. I may need a new fridge at that point. A new fridge. What else do you guys got? Holy shit, it's almost been 2 hours. So the main topic was Is bodybuilding worth it? I told you guys how to determine that for yourself. Um, David said, I'm getting low on Monster. I only have 3.5 cases left. Oof. You better stock up, dude. David, have you tried the Monster Zero with the strawberry shot? That one's pretty good. It's like a subtle strawberry flavor to it. It's pretty good though. Let me just see if I got any more questions to the email. Do 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 do. All right. Jay says the classic shape would always look great in the open with 40 pounds, but I think the undersized open guy shape is going to excel. Anyone with the better shape is still going to beat that. The classic shape would always look great in the open. I don't know. I still find it weird that we even have those two divisions. I don't know. I don't know. It's like sometimes I feel like there needs to be more divisions. Like it's all so weird. It's all so strange. DP in the house. Yo, yo. Do you recommend working on anything for mobility slash flexibility while continuing to work on hypertrophy? Yeah. I mean, you don't have to be so dramatically over the top about it. But yeah, I think a responsible amount of mobility and flexibility is definitely required, especially as you get bigger, because you will lose mobility and flexibility as you get larger. So that's something to keep in mind. So yeah, you definitely want to keep up with it to a degree. I don't think it needs to be like overdone. Like, I mean, if you're spending like 45 minutes a day doing mobility and flexibility, and like, I think it's just overkill. So I think find the areas for you that need additional help, and then I would just pick a few things that would address those. Um, and I mean, really, I think like 10 minutes a day could go a really, really far way to help a lot of people. J Money, they need to be more clear on the rules between the two, I think. On paper they are judged the same, but you see a difference when it comes down to it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like it's just it yeah, I think the best classic guy could easily beat the best open guy. So I don't it all doesn't make sense to me, really, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. It's not up to me. Um, how do we cope? This is John asking. How do we cope with the everlasting body dysmorphia that bodybuilding can potentially worsen? Um, I don't know. Let me know when you figure that out. And you can teach me. How do we cope with the everlasting body dysmorphia that bodybuilding can potentially worsen? Um, That one's hard for me because I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. Is that a good answer? You're welcome. That's why you pay me the big bucks. Honestly, there's a time and place where we need to focus on the way we look, and that is leading into a competition. And the only day that matters is the day you stand on stage. Everything outside of that, you need to stay within a reasonable body fat range, obviously. But I think every other day outside of stage day, the training is what's most important. So just focusing on driving training performance, and like the look will be there. The look will be there, but you'll never be peak look. Peak look is only one day of the year, um, or it's only contest day. That's the only time you'll ever have the best luck. All the points outside of that are just part of the process, you know. So yeah, there's no like finished product besides show day, and then from show day to show day, if you're a competitor, that's where you track progress. But all the shit in between doesn't really fucking matter because there's going to be ups and downs, and days you look good, days where you're sick and pissing out your ass, and really all the points in between are just about training and effectively just being very efficient at training and making that your number one priority, because the look, how we actually look, only matters on show day for competitors. David said the day you step in the gym is the day you're forever not big. Yeah. Um, Peyton's talking about the difference between classic and open. He said, I don't think the judging should be different. The difference is height, restricted weight. That should be it. Yeah, no, yeah, okay. I agree with that for sure. It's really nerfs the guys with the best. What the fuck does that mean? What is that? What does that mean? It really nerfs the guys with the best shape, keeping themselves smaller for a weight cap. If classic guys push open size, we'd see a much different top 10. Tell me what the fuck nerfs means, Jay. That better be a typo, unless I'm just that dumb. John says, I reach points where I'm happy with my physique. That then becomes the new norm, and then I'm unhappy again. But that constant drive for improvement, what keeps me motivated. Yeah, no, I can relate to that. Um, yeah, there needs to be like some sort of realistic perception of like the way you actually look. So like it's where you are right now, John, like man, there's people dying to look like you. Like there are people that like John has my dream physique. So like you have to put that into perspective of the way you look right now is someone's goal. Is literally someone's goal. Um so you're leaps and bounds ahead of, the curve. So you always have to like kind of reverse engineer those thoughts of like, hey, where I am right now, like someone just would kill to be here. Um, and that can help give you some perspective. Um, you need to at least you need to at least respect where you are right now. And because I think people are too hard on themselves about like how they look every single day. And it's like, man, I mean, it's all just a part of the process. And like I said, the most important day for competitors is the day you stand on stage, and everything in between that is really just about high performance training. But yeah, that the thing to remember is where you are right now is where someone would kill to be. You are their end goal. So when you keep that in mind, it can kind of shift the perspective for you a little bit. Um, but trust me, dude, we're all the same way. We're all the same way. We're all insecure about how we look and everything like that. So yeah, it's not good to be like unhappy with where you are. But it is still okay to be driven and motivated. Amy said, never big enough, never lean enough. It's the bodybuilding way. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. David says, nerf means to make, worsen, or weaken. Oh, it's a gamer term. Yeah, I don't play games. Jay, I forgot you're 80. It just keeps a governor on the potential of these guys. Shut the fuck up, Jay. Joey, finally fucking here, 2 hours late. I did answer your questions, so now you have to watch the replay, you fucker. Um, did I give a motivational dad speech? Yeah, kind of. And we talked about is bodybuilding worth it? And the way to determine that, Joey, is the simple formula of perceived benefits over cost. And that's how we answer any question. That's how we make any decision in life. So yeah, that was my motivational dad advice of the day is how we make decisions is how we perceive the benefits of said decision versus the cost of said decision. So that's how we make decisions based on anything for anything. And on the same token, if you're trying to convince another person, like let's say you want to convince your partner to let you buy a new truck or a new car, you need to make the benefits so high that the cost is really diluted. So it's like an obvious yes. Yes, of course you can buy that Shelby GT500, Joey, because the benefits are outrageous, that type of thing. So yeah, so when people say is X, Y, or Z worth it, that's what worth means. Worth means perceived benefits over cost, and the perceived benefits are internalized, they're individualized. So no one can decide those benefits for you except you. And then the cost, some are determined by other people and things, like right, like the physical currency cost, and then the cost would be like risk and time and everything else, right? So hopefully that makes sense, but that is the formula of decision making for anything and everything. So when someone asks, is bodybuilding worth it? Well, for me, bodybuilding provides these benefits, lists them. And what is the cost of bodybuilding? List those things. And you have to be accurate and honest on both. And then you will forever bodybuild until that ratio is no longer good, no longer favorable. And then now, this is when people downsize. This is when people stop running gear and everyone gets mad at them. Oh, you quit bodybuilding? Oh my God, you don't look good anymore. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's their decision, not yours. So yeah, obviously a little bit of was about from that stemmed from like Chase's recent downsizing. I had a lot of clients and people message me and ask, questions. I mean, hey, should I continue bodybuilding? And hey, should I do this? Or hey, why is Chase doing this? And blah, 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 blah. So instead of me like telling people, yes, you should continue or no, you shouldn't continue, my best advice is to learn that formula and apply it to everything. And one of the things I said earlier, Joey, was like we do that formula very quickly and easily without actually thinking about it, and that's okay. Hey, I'm going to do this. Why? Well, you're doing that. You decided to do that because the benefits outweigh the cost. Done. Simple, right? So that was my dad advice of the day. And then we spoke about body dysmorphia, which I'm sure you've never experienced, Joey. Whew. Literally, this guy calls himself Joey Small Legs. No, he's never experienced body dysmorphia. Trust me. Fuck. Amy says, "I remind myself that 80-year-old me would kill to look at." Yeah, that's a good thing. Um, that's a good perspective too. Yeah. Peyton says, "Gratitude for all things, not just that I get to train or bodybuild, but everything, including difficulties, a change perspective and taking my focus off." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Being healthy enough just to wake up and go to the gym. Whew, man, what a great thing. What a great thing that we get to do. Man, it really is. And like I said, not every fucking like this morning, dude. I looked in the mirror, fucking guys, I'm down like 8 pounds. I feel frail. And I literally spent the last 3 days like not to be graphic, but there's no other way to explain it, pissing out my ass. And I had 101 fever and like I felt like shit. I haven't trained. Um, so I looked at I had to take check-in photos for AJ this morning. I'm like, Jesus, this is fucking a disaster. Like I didn't even want to look at the photos. And in reality, they're probably not even bad. I don't know. I still haven't looked at them. I just sent them to him. But I mean, I looked at myself in the mirror this morning. I'm like, fuck, dude. So yeah, we're just not normal. We're not ever going to be. But the more we can shift into like a thought process of, hey, where I am is pretty fucking good. And compared to where I was is really fucking good. And compared to where I'm going to be is like we have room to push. So it's all about finding that balance and being grateful for the stage you're at right now, kind of like Peyton was saying. J Money still talking about fucking classic guys like a weirdo. Such amazing shape in the classic division, but we won't see it because they embrace the classic side instead of growing into open. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I get it. I don't like. I don't know. I don't even pay attention to the classic fucking guys. I know that's bad, but like you guys grew up on the classic guys. I grew up on open bodybuilders. There was no such thing as classic until like what 2017, 2018. I don't remember now. But like I never like caught on to it. I just assumed every year that passed, I just assumed like Chris Bumstead just won everything. And like I didn't even really ever follow classic very well until more recently. I've always been a Terrence Ruffin fan. I just think he's a cool dude. I think his shape is really cool too. But yeah, never drooled over the classic division, and it's probably because I just don't have a classic shape. So, Joey, I'm 270 and feeling small. When I was at my show peeled, I felt fat. Yeah. I was going to watch the replay anyways. Yeah, if you would, please do, because there's some probably cool stuff I said in there that like will change your life. Clearly, Joey says, "I know Chase has been catching shit for downsizing. Yeah, it's awesome. His content isn't relatable for me anymore, but I respect his decision. I'm young and don't have nearly as much to lose, and no one needs me, guys." This is a younger guy that understands it. I explain Joey, you when you watch the replay, I explain how Chase's benefits over cost of blasting high amounts of androgens and everything like that, the benefits do not outweigh the cost anymore. The cost now is he has multiple employees to pay. All those employees have families, so he has all these mouths to feed. The cost now for him is so extreme because if he fucking dies, those people's families can't eat until they find a new job. And like all that weighs on him very heavily, I would imagine. Um, so there's a point where the benefits no longer outweigh the costs. And that was my whole point. Scotty Mize in the house. Joey says, sounds messed up, but I know if I die from gear use, it's not going to ruin anyone else's life. It doesn't sound messed up. It doesn't matter how it sounds because it's your decision. It's your decision. It doesn't matter how it sounds to anyone else. And you don't have to explain it to anyone else. You don't owe anyone a goddamn thing. Joey says, obviously, I'm still careful where I can be, but I've accepted that I'm probably still doing damage. You are. You're not probably doing damage. We're all doing damage. You're all doing damage. If you're running any sort of gear, you're doing damage. It's not a matter of if you are. I promise you are. There's absolutely no way that you're not. There's no fucking way that you're not. But if the benefits still outweigh the costs, it's worth it. Worth it, quote unquote. That's how you value if something's worth it. No one can decide if something is worth it for you. You can only do it for yourself. Smalls, is it body dysmorphia if you're actually small? I'm asking for a friend. Oh no, you're actually just small. That's not body dysmorphia. That's that's body acceptance. uh Joey says, "Hey J Money, fuck classic, get huge." Yeah, 100%. No, yeah, I part of me does agree with that, Joey. It's like classic's like dope and everything, but like I hate that there's a limitation. Like, no, just send that shit. Bodybuilding's so great because there's no rules and there's no weight class. You just fucking send that shit. Um, Scott, the only part Scotty says the only part of Chase's content that isn't relatable to me is the extreme, basically being the extreme swings. I don't think you have to go either 5 grams of gear and fat and huge or sub TRT and lose as much muscle as possible. But I do relate to not wanting to die and to be healthy for my family. Um, the only part of Chase's content that isn't relatable to me is the extremities. Like he's talking about being extreme one way or the other, the pendulum swinging too far one way, too far the other way. Um, you got to remember, Scott, his timeline is different than yours, and his whole thing is different than yours. So, he gave himself X amount of years in his head to put on as much size as he could. And now he only has so much amount of time to get that size off because he needs to get approved for life insurance. And his family needs life insurance. So that's where these huge swings are coming. And people just nitpick his content and they don't actually know his story, which is fine. They don't have to listen to every minute and second of his content, but just realize that there's more to the story than what you see on social media. His timeline is different than how it's perceived. Nowhere did he ever say people need to run 5 grams of gear and get just enormously large. Nowhere did he say everyone needs to come off to nothing and get as much muscle off as possible. He's doing this for a personal reason. So he needs life insurance for his family. Guys, his family. No longer do the benefits of running steroids outweigh the cost for him anymore, and that's all individualized. So, that's how people make decisions. But yeah, from the outside looking in, of course, it's alarming that, like, he's dropping weight and everything like that, but, um, yeah, that's just that's just how he's going about doing it, and Chase has always been extreme. That's one of the great things about him. That's one of the reasons he's actually very successful is that he's willing to take big risk, if the benefit is high enough. If his perceived benefits are high enough and they still outweigh the cost, he's willing to take those big risks. Scott says, I think life insurance is a scam. Of course, all insurance is, but it's still peace of mind for him and his family. Just invest it. He does have, I'm not going to talk about Chase's financial shit on here. He don't waste your money. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about any of his private stuff on here because that's not for me to share. But yeah, he's good. That's all I'll say. He's good. But he does want life insurance for his family. And that's fair. And you will not get it if your BMI is too high. Because I got denied life insurance. And I will likely get denied life insurance again this year. But yeah, I mean, all I'm going to say is he's fine. He's doing fine. But the life insurance thing is just another peace of mind for him because when you do have, and the life insurance is not just for him, because like I said, he has many people that he employs now. He has lots of people working for him. They all have families to feed. So the life insurance is to make sure that his wife gets enough money where, if she has to, whatever she chooses to do, if something were to happen, he just wants to make sure that she's covered on every single corner that she can be. So yeah, of course he has investments and he's investing in other things and he has all these things in place. He just wants all of his bases covered because if shit does hit the fan, he wants to know his wife and his daughter are good. And he wants to know that, his employees are going to be fine until they find another job and things like that if something were to go south very quickly. Scotty chimes in and says, I think Chase is actually an extremely noble and morally sound guy. I wish he talked about it a little more because when he opens up about stuff, he does. He does. It's just now he talks about it on Rumble. and and to be fair, Rumble just doesn't have the attraction that YouTube does. He is building a following over there. It's just um I I can say this like with full certainty. Yeah, Scotty says, "What the fuck is a Rumble?" Exactly. So Chase is sharing some of this stuff over on Rumble, and and Chase is very um open about uh stuff. And man, I can say this in like full certainty is that he's one of the most genuine people I've ever met. Um, and there's only so many people in this world that I would actually say that about, where, you meet them and you're like, sometimes you're like, you're kind of a dick, or like, you kind of suck, you're kind of a liar, you're kind of a bullshitter. I've had that happen way more than the times that I can say, like, hey, I actually met this person. Like, holy fuck, like they're legit. Like they are who they say they are. Um, but yeah, so he does get vulnerable sometimes and share some of this stuff. Um, And yeah, the problem is like on Instagram and little stories and stuff like that, we don't ever see the full story of like it unfolding. Unless you follow, his content, his long form content where he's explaining himself. But otherwise, we just see a guy going from 250 plus blasting gear to sub 200, no gear, natural. And we're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But in reality, there's actually a good purpose behind it, and it's all for positive things. And really, uh, the most inspiring thing about it is how incredibly hard it was for him to make that decision, because he's lived this lifestyle for so long, just like the rest of us have. And like I said, I've been sick for 3 days, and I looked at myself this morning, and I was just so hard on myself about the way I looked. And he was somehow able to get over that block. And now, I mean, Chase might look at himself in the morning and be like, "Oh, I should probably shave." And he shaves and he goes on with his day. He's not checking his fucking he's not doing front doubles in front of the mirror like a fucking moron before he brushes his teeth like all of us are. Or you walk by a car window and see if your arms look big. We all do the stupid shit, guys. We all do the dumb shit. He got to a point where he doesn't have to do that anymore, and that's gotta feel so empowering. And I don't know if I'll ever get to that point. But to watch him do it is really inspiring because um I just think someone just asked me earlier, how do you get over the body dysmorphia? I don't fucking know. I don't know how, but Chase did. So I know it's possible. I know it's possible. So um like I said, for me, the way I get over body dysmorphia is I just focus on my training and performance because that's what I really love anyways. Um but now Chase can walk by a mirror probably without even looking into it. And he can just walk on and with his day, eat whatever he wants for breakfast and just fucking be on his way. And that's an empowering life where you're not a slave to the way you look and you're not always a victim because of X, Y, and Z. So yeah, it's incredibly inspiring. As much as people want to shit on it, you know. Peyton says Chase is legit. I bought his old sauna. I drove a long way from Georgia to Chicago for it, and he basically took the whole thing apart for me, helped me load it, gave me a good deal on it. Yeah, yeah, yep. Chase is a good dude, 100%. First thing I said when he announced it was on IG was, "That's incredibly brave." 100%. It takes serious guts to do that. 100%. 100%. I don't. I'll say this. I think more people would rather die than do what he's doing. I think more people would actually be okay with dying than to do what he's doing, and that's sad. And that is addiction in its highest degree. And I truthfully believe that I think more people would actually just be okay with their heart just fucking randomly stopping in the middle of the night, as opposed to how they would feel waking up sub 200 pounds when they were 280 at one point, for one example. I really mean that. And that's scary. But again, we can never make decisions for anyone. And we should really not judge people on their decisions until we know the full story and how they came about that decision. And it doesn't matter anyways because it's not our decision. But perceived benefits over cost is how a decision is made. So once the cost is higher than the benefits, the ratio doesn't work anymore, and this decision is no, I won't do that anymore. That's how decisions are made. Dom Kuza did it too, to a lesser degree. Yeah, yeah. Meaning he wasn't as big, but he's like a 160 now and still looks jacked and he's super healthy. Yeah, and Chase is still gonna look great too. Chase is still gonna look great too. Um, it's such a dramatic change right now that people are like, "Oh, this doesn't look good." Guys, it's just his beginning dieting phase, and he doesn't even care what it looks like. He just wants to get the fucking weight off. He just wants this process over. And then you watch what he maintains is going to look better than 99% of fucking people anyways that are probably blasting gear. You know how many people are blasting gear and they don't look like they've touched a fucking weight in their life? He's still going to look better than them no matter what he weighs. Same thing with Dom Kuza. Dom looks great. He looks way better than people that are probably taking grams of gear, you know? So, and yeah, and that's the other thing is like Chase's whole point is like, well, I don't really fucking care what it looks like. It's not why I'm doing this. It's not the point of it. He's like, the point is like, I don't care anymore. It's not about that. It's about something so much bigger than that. And just people can't understand that. And that's okay. They don't have to. They don't have to understand it. But yeah, yeah, Dom did that. There's been a lot of guys that do that and will continue to do that. Scott, I said it seems to happen after like someone passes. And I don't always think it's correlated, but just in my experience over watching it over the last, decade plus, is that when someone in the industry does pass that was really well known and things like that, it seems like the next few weeks and months to follow, you'll see a lot of guys announcing that they're going to start downsizing. And I don't think that's what happened with Chase directly, but like Jason Lowe did pass, and then um, Chase did announce that like a few weeks later. And I don't know. I don't think they were correlated, but I have seen that happen a lot. Um, so yeah, for sure. It definitely gets you thinking when you see a young guy pass. Um, like I said, it'll always come down to benefits over costs. And Scotty, you and I have talked about it before. Like, is bodybuilding worth it? And it's like, well, you got to sit down and figure that out for yourself because no one can decide that for you. And no one can determine your perceived benefits for you. And, the cost is what the cost is. So, um, that was the purpose of this whole Q&A, was just to kind of touch on that, give you guys an understanding of really just how the decision making process of anything is made. And it will always be that easy formula. It'll be burnt into your brain now because I've said it a million times in the last 2.5 hours. Value, or quote unquote, is it worth it, equals perceived benefits divided by cost. And as long as the perceived benefits outweigh the costs, your answer is always yes. Your answer is always yes. Scotty said, I'm going to be on 150 milligrams of test for probably 9 to 12 months. Lowest I've been on in a few years is probably 500 to 600. I'm sure I'll lose some size, which I'm okay with, but not trying to. You'd be surprised, Scott. You might lose like a little bit of nitrogen retention and stuff. But dude, when I ran my fertility protocol, I was on 150 test. I still kept in growth hormone, which probably helped with fullness, and I did use some Humalog here and there, like pre-workout, post-workout, shit like that. I played with some Humalog. I used it on some like refeed days. But yeah, I was primarily on 150 test. I used testosterone propionate. It doesn't matter, but that's what I used. And Monday, Wednesday, and Friday injections. And then I was using HCG at 2000, um, I think 3 times a week, something like that. And I was using 150 FSH um, every other day, something like that. I would have to look it up. But yeah, I had people asking me if I was getting ready for a show. Um, bro, I was full. I was strong. I was very healthy. My energy was good. My mental state was good. Um, I think I was on that for 6 months. That's all I needed to be on it for until we conceived, and then I started a prep like shortly after that. But dude, I honestly I felt really good, and my diet was like I didn't fuck around on my diet at all, just because you don't have room for error when the gear isn't as high, in my opinion. I think gear can cover a lot of mistakes, um, to a point. To a point. Jay Money said most people don't even think the gym is worth it. Yeah, it's true. That's because their perceived benefits of what a gym is do not outweigh the cost, and that's okay. Mel said, I don't think we'll ever get over it. We have to just manage it like anything else. Be at peace with managing an aspect of our life with everything else and enjoy the things we value more. What do you mean? Get over it. What are you talking about? Are you talking about like are you still talking about like body dysmorphia? Is that what you mean? Yeah. I don't think you have to like get over it. The you can't get over anything. You just need to learn to cope with whatever it is. Like I don't like one of my pet peeves is when a drug addict tells me that they're a recovered drug addict. I don't believe you are. I do not believe you are. I think once you're a drug addict, you're always one. Um, I just think right now you're just not using. You're sober right now, which is good. You shouldn't use, but you're still a drug addict somewhere deep the fuck down in there. So you better watch your shit because it only takes one fucking day. It only takes one decision away from just being right back where you were. So, um, I don't think we can get over anything. I think it's all about just learning to cope with things and learning to deal with adversity and adapt and move forward. But those things in the past are what shaped us to who we are now. So I don't think there's a point to get over them. I just think we need to learn to cope and and just know that it's always going to be kind of a part of who we are. So yeah, your body dysmorphia is here to stay. Sorry about that. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm just checking, see if any questions came in. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions? We will be at the Arnold next week. We will get in. We'll get in Wednesday night. So we will be there early, and we will stay all the way through Sunday, everything like that. So that is coming up. I'm excited to finally not be dying anymore. And I feel better today. So hopefully Monday I can train and hopefully I can put some fullness back on before the Arnold because I'm insecure and I have body dysmorphia and I don't want to look small at the Arnold. Smaller than normal. Oh, fuck me. That's real shit, guys. That's shit no one wants to talk about or admit. Is that when I got sick, the first thing I thought is, oh, I'm going to look smaller at the Arnold. That's fucked up thinking. That's diseased. That's fucking diseased, guys. You know? That shit ain't normal, bro. You fucks. You're all sick and twisted too. But yeah, that's where my mind went. As soon as I got sick, I'm gonna look small at the Arnold. You're already small, bro. No one fucking cares who you are, anyways. Anyways, let's see what else we got. David, I can't wait for the Arnold. Yeah, it's gonna be dope. Can't wait to spend time with David and Crystal both. They will be running the booth with us, and we got t-shirts for sale. We got other shit to give away. You guys can just come hang out and chat with us. You don't have to spend any money, but if you do, code Tommy, of course. Alex G, wish I could have made it to the Arnold, but could not get the time off. That's all right, bro. Go make that money, dude. Go make that fucking money, bro. For real. For real. Gonna be sick. Careful with how you say that, David. Don't put that fucking bad juju in the air. What David means by the word sick for you boomers is that it's going to be a good, enjoyable time. Peyton says, can't wait to see you guys at the booth. It'll be good to catch up with Peyton. Please come visit us, hang out. Jay Money with a question. Thank you, Jay. Keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming, Jay. What's the longest off season you would take if progression is the only goal and it's not limited by health factor? What's the longest off season you would take if progression is the goal and there's no limiting health factors? I really like people that diet hard once a year. I really like people to diet hard once a year. It's not mandatory. So Jay, I guess I would say 18 months would be like my max. And that's like I fucking hate giving numbers like that cuz who knows? Who knows, dude? You know? But like man, I really like to see people get down and dirty like shredded once a year or once every 18 months. That's just my opinion. There's no like magic or science to that. It's just what I like to see happen. Um, but like, I mean, then we run into these times where the body's just growing. Do not stop it from growing. Do not stop the train that is greased and rolling down the tracks. Don't stand in front of the motherfucker. Let that train roll. Let it roll. Ride the wave. Ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it. If you're growing and your health is good and your appetite's still high and you're staying lean, like fucking keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. The dumbest thing you can do is stand in front of that fucking train when it is rolling. So, like, I just said, like, I don't know, 18 months. Yeah, but what if you're at 22 and you're still cranking and everything's going good? But Tommy said 18 months, so now I'm going to diet. And yeah, and then you just fucking stop everything. So like that's something you just have to play by ear and use the feedback that you're given, right? Because you do not want to stop a phase just to stop a phase because someone put a timeline in your head or because you picked a show that you just absolutely have to do. If you're fucking growing, bro, please let the body grow. Let it grow. Because sometimes the stars align and shit is just rolling. Man, I don't think you get that all the time. I don't think you get those where the gears just fucking mesh and everything is good. I don't think it happens all the time. And when it does, do not fuck it up because you don't know when you're going to get another time period like that. Right? What if you have a chance to put on 30 pounds of stage weight and you will never know because you cut it short because someone's like, well, you got to diet every year or you got to diet every 18 months maximum. And you were fucking cranking and you put on like 15 pounds of stage weight and you could have put on another 15, but some asshole on the internet told you, like, no, you have to diet. And it's like, bro, but I'm like fucking growing like crazy. Nope. You got to do it because this is the timeline. You know what I mean? So that's really something that becomes something that you're going to have to watch and make that call for yourself or have a friend help you. Like, hey, am I too fat yet? Like, no, dude, your condition's still quite good. Cool. I'm going to keep still fucking growing. And then it's going to get to a point where that starts to become unfavorable. And then maybe you try to do like a little cleanup phase or like a health phase or whatever you want to call it. And then you reassess from there. Hey, should I push this harder or is it time to start dieting type thing? So, yeah. And part of me thinks you'll know when you get there. The other part of me would say definitely ask a close friend or someone that you value. Hey, like, should I ride this thing harder or is it time to catch this before the wheels fall off? Type thing. John says, Dr. Todd be at the booth? Maybe. He was last time. He stopped in. Scotty says, I can't make it due to work. Oh, man. Very sad to not be able to see all you guys. Oh, that is shit, dude. I didn't know that. Man, sorry, Scott. Scotty says, hope you feel better soon, Tommy. Appreciate you. I am feeling better today. I did successfully drink this energy drink without pissing out my ass, so I think we're in the clear. J Money says that's a good example, especially when the next period of growth might not be as effective. Yeah, you just don't know. So when something is moving and grooving, do not fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Stop it. Dylan, there's a bunch of Dylans in here. Hey, bro, I am on your fertility protocol now. Perfect. Been doing 75 FSH daily as I have no time to waste. Fair. Prior to TRT, cycling fertility was 10 out of 10. Is it stupid of me to run 250 milligrams a test during this protocol? When you say your fertility was 10 out of 10, does that mean like you were just like fertile and everything was good prior to TRT / cycling? Dylan, I would see where your levels are now. So get like a sperm analysis, and make sure that your levels are good. And then yeah, I mean, in my opinion, if FSH is in place, like I think testosterone can be in place and you're gonna be fine. That's just my opinion. I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm not a fertility specialist. I promise. I'm just a guy that got his wife pregnant after blasting a lot of gear, and I've helped a lot of other idiots get their wives pregnant after they were blasting gear. A lot of that stuff, obviously, I learned from Chase, who was very successful at doing the same thing, as well as many, many members of our forum, same success rate. So this is just all anecdotal from things I've seen. But in my experience, I do think you could probably get on some TRT, in my opinion, if the FSH is still in place. You'll want to obviously do a sperm analysis after like 2-3 months because it does take 90 days for a full sperm cycle to regenerate. And you will want to test blood work to make sure that your FSH is actually elevated on your blood work. Um, Blaze, what's up, my boy? Who do you have winning the Arnold in Classic and Open? Fuck me. Classic's easy. I think Mike's gonna win. Mike the Badass. What a stupid name. Someone tell him to change his name. Um Sorry. It's not fucking funny. He's my hero. I do think Mike will win Classic. As far as Open, no fucking idea, to be fair. I have no fucking idea. I think Hottie will or could win. I think Nick could win. I could see Martin placing high. Andrew's doing it right. I could see Andrew doing very well. Blazy Boy says Sam Solik has it all day. Maybe, dude. I don't know. I wouldn't fucking. I never know, bro. I never know because you see these guys finally stand next to each other, and it's alarming. At the contrast as opposed to them just standing on their own on Instagram photos. So yeah, I mean, fuck, Sam could do great. Who knows? It would not shock me if he did very well. It wouldn't shock me one bit. And I would really love to see him do well because one, I think he's a cool kid. And two, I would love to see him shut a bunch of fucking people up. Let me see the lineup so I don't fuck this up. Arnold Classic 2026 lineup. See, that's the thing, guys. Here's where it's hard. Because, guys, like, where do we put a guy like Brandon Curry? Like, why do we write him off so quickly? You know? Like, guys, he did win the Mr. Olympia. So, like, where do we put a guy like Brandon? You know, Akeem might do okay. I don't think he's gonna win, but he might do okay. Oh, that Anthony Williams kid, like he's fucking dope. So he could probably do really well. But your question was who do I think's going to win the Classic and the Open? I think Hottie will win the Open, assuming everything goes his way and everything like that. Amy said, Martin blocked me, but I still think he'll be top 5. Fuck him. Fuck him. I hope he gets 6th. I hope he blocks me next. Little bitch. Little punk ass bitch. He acts like a kid. He acts like a child. Fucking block me, bro. I don't care. Kidding. I'm kidding. Love you, Martin. I guess. Fucking. J Money. Martin hate will not be tolerated by Blaze. That's his hero. Blaze says, nah, I wish Sam is cool, but yeah, these dudes are all Olympians, and it's only Sam's third show. Top 10 would be huge for him. I think Sam will do well. Yeah, I think he'll do good. Is Martin really your fucking hero, Blaze? Really? Even over me? Oh, he's sad face. I can't believe Martin blocked Amy. How the fuck does that even happen, Amy? I'm so curious. What, Smalls? You like Martin too? Why? Why? He says, hell no. Careful, bro. You're going to get me blocked. Gonna get me blocked. And whose code am I going to use for Kratom if you get me blocked? Fucking weirdo. J Money, he's worried Amy will take his spot in the Olympia. Amy says, I think it's because I said his tan was off and he got sweaty. Oh, Amy, you insulted him so bad. I just called him a fucking child. I also said he's short and has a I also said he has a short temper. All of which has clearly proved to be true. Holy fuck. I get it, dude. I get what he's trying to portray. That he's this badass Texas boy who won't take any shit. You're just a great value, Branch Warren, bro. Chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out. Stop it. Branch wouldn't have done any of this shit. He wouldn't have even fucking cared. If someone was like, hey, Branch, your tan looked like shit, he'd be like, I don't care, bro. I'll just work harder than you. He'd say some Branch Warren shit. Yeah, my tan was fucked up because I was hunting boar before the show. Like, what? Fucking Martin is a great value, Branch Warren. Fucking wannabe bitch. I'm kidding. I don't mean it. Blaze says Martin was my hero, but now he's acting like a fool. Brett the goat. Now you go to Brett? Brett is the man? Who the fuck is Brett? Man, fuck you guys. Brett who? Small says Tommy's blocked for sure. No, Martin and I are friends, bro. We're friends. Trust me. Great value branch is crazy. Tell me I'm wrong, though. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. I don't mean it. I really like Martin a lot. He's super cool. He's a super good guy. Really, really does good things for the sport. Yeah. I'm not getting blocked, bro. This is prime. This is prime media, news media, bodybuilding news media. Martin's gonna love this. Blaze said, I'm telling on you. Bro, I have 200 YouTube subscribers. Martin won't ever fucking know who I am. He doesn't care. I'm DMing Martin right now. No, you're not. I don't care. Tell him his tan sucks. Say from Amy. And say you're short tempered with a shitty tan. From Amy. Love Amy. Your number one fan. Melmac, I hope Hadi is stateside now. Iran is getting hammered. Yeah, he's been in the States for like a week now. What up, bro? What do you think about Martin Fitzwater? He's a bitch. Yeah, I know. Who's this? Can you show your muscles? Can you flex your muscles? Good job. David says, hell yeah, he knows who Nick is. Yeah, he knows who Nick is. Sean Clarita. Really anyone that I've had flexing on my shirt. And new Mr. Olympia, Landon John. He might end up being a classic guy because apparently he's really tall. David said, I still love the little TJ shirt we made for him. It turned out great. Yeah, that's dope. I love that shit. He actually like that, the one with the back double, like when I wear that shirt, he knows that's me somehow, which is kind of cool. Just got my nephew a race car for his birthday. How old is he? What did you get him? Landon has one of those electric GT 500s. So those are cool. Mm-hmm. It's an electric McLaren. Oh, that's fucking sick. That's dope. Can you say hi? Hi. Good job. Mel Max's Timu branch Warren. That's fucked up, Mel. I said great value. Timu is fucking wild. That is insulting. Martin will not be insulted by me calling him a great value, Branch Warren. J Money, he's about to turn 1. He's a little young, but he's a big boy, so his dad should be able to drive him around. Yeah, dude, ours has the remote too for the Shelby. So we can just kind of like remote control it. Blaze, do you play video games? No, dude, I don't. And the reason is I'm just not good at them. Partly because J Money says, Blaze, shut the fuck up. Partly because I'm colorblind. So like I'm really bad at like first person shooters, for example, because like the maps are so camouflaged for me. So like someone could be standing in the middle of a fucking map and I won't be able to see them. Because my color deficiency. So no, I don't play any video games. I don't have time and I'm just not good at them anyways. I'm just really not good at them. I have played video games in the past. Like I used to like Gears of War and like we would play Halo when we were kids. And then we used to play Wolfenstein. J Money said bodybuilding is a video game. Yeah, kind of. With just less reward. Costs more money. Is it funny? Small says Gears of War was great. Hi. Say it again. Hi. Good job. Yeah, Gears of War was the best, dude. Good night, baby. Bye bye. J Money, I traded Gears of War for War on Gear. Jesus. Blaze, Austin plays video games and he sucks at them. Probably. 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 I was trying to find the classic lineup for. Let's see. Here we go. Wesley Vissers. Wesley Wissers. Wesley Vissers. This is a problem. I don't know who. Oh, you know who's dope? I don't know if he's gonna. I don't think he's like in territory of winning, but that Paul Canoe dude, he's fucking dope. I like him. He's coached by Phil Viz, but he's cool. He's dope. He's got a cool physique. Guys, I don't know who any of these fucking guys are. Andrea Mamoli, he's dope. He's good. J Money, you can't bash your coach, man. I can when these two put me on TRT. We did that for your own good, sir. If you can't grow on TRT, you have no business fucking running gear, my friend. You have no business running the big boy shit. Back in my day, you'd have no chance in the Quake lobbies, young one. I remember Quake. Holy shit. I didn't think you were that old. Austin, how old are you? Are you 34? Yeah, maybe you are. You're an old motherfucker like me. Blaze in a nutshell. I don't need any drugs. Also, Blaze, why'd you put me on TRT? You guys can't be afraid of the TRT phases. Hey, you got to go to bed, dude. Okay? Bye. Bye bye. What? Austin, you're not 28. Are you? What the? No, I thought you said. Are you actually 28 years old? My brother and dad were in the games, though. Oh, fuck. Now you're comparing me to your dad. Nice, bro. I look 34. My brother is almost 40. I guess I thought you were 34 because I thought we talked about competing in masters together. But maybe I'm confusing that with Presley because I know Presley's around 34. No, I'm not doing that based off your like look. I don't even know how to estimate people's age anymore. You all look fucking fat and gay, anyways. You all look like Great Value Branch Warrens with temper tantrums. Thought that was you and Stacy competing together. That's fine too. I don't care. I thought you were the same age as me, especially with a reference to the video game Quake. You fucking scrub. Blaze. You in masters now. Whatever. He'll be 34 one day. How old are you then? 28? Yeah, that makes sense. So you'll be 29 this year? Is that right? I'm almost 23. I played Quake. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, but your brother's older, dude. Jay, your brother's older. All right, so you'll be almost 30 in August. You'll be 29 in August. See, shut the fuck up, bro. Calling you 34, you act like it's a big insult. You're almost 30, bro. You're fucking old. You're fucking old, dude. How old's Martin? Amy, do you know? We'll ask Amy. Amy, how old's Martin? Yeah, but he only played Battlefield and Black Ops with me. Oh, okay. Small says that 3 as the first number is a big jump. Bro, it doesn't matter. Everything after 26 is just the same. And then you reach like 45. And then it's all the same until you're like 60 again. And then after 60, like I probably won't live that long anyway, so I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, me and my brother got all of our games at the thrift store, so we grew up on old games. Yeah, for sure. I get that for sure. Amy, our Martin answer. I think he's 28. David says 29, born in January of 97. Okay, so he. Amy, did I miss his birthday? That's why you got blocked, bro. That's why you got fucking blocked. You didn't send him a birthday card with Kratom in it. And whatever else he does. You didn't send him a dialed up drink. What are they called? What are those fucking Kratom drinks? Whatever. Whatever. Oh, Martin. I hope he does really well at the Arnold. I can't wait to see him live. Oh, that's funny. Holy shit. Is Kratom bad? Asked Blaze. I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't personally use it. But that's just me. Is it bad? Well, how do you quantify bad? Because I do a lot of bad shit, bro. I do a lot of shit that ain't so healthy for me. But for me, the perceived benefits of Kratom do not outweigh the cost. So I would never choose to use Kratom because it doesn't fit my value formula that this whole 3 hours of stupid bullshit has been about. So is Kratom bad? For me, yes. Doesn't fit my formula. Peyton, I'll be 45 in April. I look better than I ever have in my life. Just stay healthy and train. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Just stay healthy and fucking train. Yeah, guys, that's like, yeah, that's like pretty much how you can conclude anything. Yep, just stay healthy and just train. Like, fuck yeah, I agree with that 100%. 100%. Blaze Google search, will kratom make me bigger? Increlex plus kratom equals muscle? Question mark. Stay off the fucking Googles, Blaze. Stay off the chat GPTsers. That's where some of you guys get yourself in trouble. You spend too much time reading and drooling and doom scrolling over great value branch warrants, instead of just fucking focusing on your own shit, you fuckers. I'm not reading that out loud, Blaze. But the answer is no. Be your own great value brand. That's the true advice of the day. Be your own great value branch. Whew. Holy fuck. Man, I really hope Martin doesn't see this episode. Shut the fuck up. Blaze. Okay, so Tommy. Okay, Blaze. So what? So, okay, then what, Linda? Okay, listen, Linda. I remember that when I do my barbell roast today. Yeah, Blaze, you don't need to be your own great value branch. You need to be lesser than. And if you guys don't know why I'm saying that to Blaze, it's because he trains like he wants to break his back. Like he's intentionally trying to rupture every vertebrae in his spine. Austin and Jay think I like boys because of the way I answered this question. Okay, let's hear the question. It's okay to like boys, Blaze. I already have a few gay friends, so to add an additional one is no big deal. I'd be honored to accept you for that position. David, I mean, you are into bodybuilding. It's pretty much given that you like them at least a little. He's not wrong. It's a little gay in you. There's a little bit of gay in you. God forbid a kid like training hard and heavy. Yeah, but I guess it depends how you quantify hard. And heavy is also relative. But when you're T-bar rowing 7 plates, and you're using nothing but biceps and traps, that's not okay. Your question got blocked. Type it without like words that are offensive. He prefers a certain gender of glutes. Oh, like you like men's glutes more than more than female glutes? That's not gay at all, bro. Oh, oof. Blaze has left the chat. Okay, you guys have 2 minutes to ask any questions you have. Otherwise, this is getting weird, and I need to go eat my normal American food. Because I'm not bodybuilding today. I don't care what any of you say. Any remaining questions? Would you rather open Instagram? And see 1 week out Martin or 1 week out Jose or Renee? Jose. Jose. And I guarantee you said the same thing. Jay says a married man will have a different view. Yeah, that could be unfair. I don't know, dude. Jose is an absolute freak. He's an alien. He's an alien. Of course, Renee is dope, but like Jose is like, that is some unrealistic shit. It's fucking dope. Yeah, Blaze. I'm with you, bro. I'm a bodybuilder, bro. I'm a bodybuilder first and foremost. Yeah, if I open my Instagram, I want to see that first. Sorry. Sorry. Sue me. Sue Blaze. We don't care. We don't care. If you're coming back from sickness and joints, mainly knees, feel tight, how do you prefer to manage that? Just don't get hurt. Just like ease back into shit. Um, just really like do less than you think you're capable of and just keep a lot in the tank the first week or two. Um, yeah, just don't push anything that could turn out to something really bad. Both of you aren't on enough trend. Yeah, maybe that's it. Or maybe that would make it completely opposite and worse. Simply don't get hurt. Austin has a lot of statements like that. Yeah, Austin and I see a lot of things eye to eye. Partly it's because I coach him, partly it's because him and I just see eye to eye. Partly because Stacy and I have a lot in common. Stacy and I have grown up around the same influences, like Matt Porter and John Meadows, and like I'm sure he gets some stuff from Stacy that's applicable, and like her and I see eye to eye. We have a lot of commonalities. So yeah, a lot of the shit Austin says is going to be shit that I say and agree with as well. And I learn a lot of stuff from him too. Amanda John, how is this live? still going on. Because I gotta give the fucking people what they want, dude. I have to give the people what they want. And that is a 3.5 hour live. That's it, dude. Lame. Did you have a question, ma'am? You must be a fan of Martin. Is this Martin under this name? Amanda John? Is this actually Martin? Smalls, he's ours now, Amanda. You guys can have him. Amy said, "I love it, Amanda. It's gotten me through a full leg day, one meal, and mopping all the floor." You see that, Amanda John? I'm getting people through their days. So that's how this live is still going. That's how I keep it going. We only get 3 hours of custody a week. He's left me alone with the child all day. That's true. That's true. I'm just one less child you have to take care of. And I was the one taking care of him when he was puking all over. Yeah, that's true. And then you got us all sick. J Money. Come on, Tommy. Jay, aren't you still in diapers, dude? Amanda's going to have to take care of you next. Who can bench more, Little John or Tommy John? That little fucker's strong, dude. He like picks up random shit, just fucking carries it around. Like he was walking around with like a fucking gallon of vinegar the other day. Like what the fuck are you doing, dude? It's like 9 pounds, and he was just cruising around with it. If Martin fought 2,000 chickens, who would win? The chickens. The chickens. You see this, Amanda? This is why this live went so long. Thank you for keeping me company while I was working in the backyard. Thanks for all that you do. Enjoy the rest of your day/weekend. Got to go get after it. You see that support? Branch Warren versus 2,000 boars. Branch Warren would win every time. He would beat the chickens, the boars, and Martin. He would slaughter them all. Because he's the real OG. Branch Warren versus one horse, bro. That's wrong. That's wrong, dude. Man. One Amanda John versus 2,000 Tommies. We know that answer. One Amanda John always wins. She's the leader of the household. She's the backbone. She's the backbone of it all. She's not even in here anymore. Oh, fuck, whatever. Me, 100%. Shut up. She's whatever. She's whatever. All right. Any more questions before I stop this fucking disaster? Someone send it to Martin, please. Once it posts. Please timestamp it and send it to Martin. Amy, you can do it. I know you have his number. I know he's got you blocked on all the other socials, though. David, he's gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this?" Oh, he knows who I am, bro. He knows. He knows. Blaze, did I ruin the professionalism of this live? Oh no, it's been fucked from the start, dude. No, you're good. It's been fucked since the start. Amy's gonna send this to Martin. Thank you, thank you. We'll tag him. Um, Tag him on Instagram. Yeah, we'll be good. I'm gonna give him a hard copy on a USB drive at the Arnold. We'll leave that with him. A mega amino bag with a t-shirt of Nick when he loses to Nick. It'll be good. Blaze, you're about to get your phone smacked. I can make you a shirt with great value branch Hawaiian. No, dude. No, no, no. Don't even quote me on that. I didn't say that. This is all in your imagination. All right, I gotta go. TommyJohnCoaching.com. Sign up for the emails. I'll send you things about great value branch warrants. I'll send you how to lose your temper on people and use kratom. How to ruin your statin C numbers. I'll send you stuff on that. But I will not send you any bullshit. So cool. TommyJohnCoaching.com. Sign up for the emails. Join the Chase Irons Forum.com. All sorts of good stuff in there. My discount code is Tommy for all things I'm affiliated with, whether that's omegaamino.net or Leviathan Nutrition. Those are my shits. Those are my people. Those are who I trust. That's where I get my shit. Take Amanda to dinner. I might, because that's what I'm doing this weekend, is being normal. I'm not bodybuilding. Don't give a fuck about it until I'm done feeling like shit, which I feel better. So that's good. Anyways, thank you guys. Send this to Martin and talk to you later. Love you. Bye.